Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Farah Natasha. Today I would like to explain about current issue which is recruiter bias in selecting candidates. So what are they? Bias in candidate selections means making hiring decisions based on personal opinions or unfair judgments instead of focusing only on a person's skills or experience. This can be intentionally or unintentional. For instance, an interviewer might prefer someone just because they went to the same school or like the same hobbies, even if another candidate is more qualified. Or they might unfairly reject someone because of their age, gender, or background. Sometimes, people don't even realize they are being biased, but it still affects who gets hired and can lead to missing out on the best person for the job. There are several types of bias we can find in interviewer traits, such as affinity bias, confirmation bias, halo effect, gender, racial, and age bias, and also name bias. So, the first one, affinity bias. This happens when we prefer someone who is similar to us. For example, a recruiter might favor a candidate who went to the same school or shares the same hobbies, even if the others are more qualified.
Which brings us on to Stacey Lloyd.
Solid research background, undergraduate teaching experience, and she did give the best interview.
See that raised eyebrow?
She was certainly forthcoming.
It's a priming signal telling Gina what to think.
But isn't that what we want in a lecturer?
Maybe, but do you really think she had the right gravitas?
And there, using that loaded academic word implies that Stacey isn't academic.
You have a point. I think we should consider our international students. Her Newcastle accent is not easy.
She's actually used diversity and inclusion to justify a bias.
Nathaniel was more professional, I felt. I mean, he's done his MA here, so he knows the department.
That's classic in group thinking.
And he gave an excellent paper at the Geocom conference.
So, the second one is confirmation bias. This is when we look for information that supports what we already believe and ignore what doesn't. For instance, if a recruiter thinks someone is not a good fit, they may only notice the negative and ignore the positive in that person's resume or interview.
So, Shona is the one who did 6 years at Livermore's before moving to Campbell Mavers?
Yeah, smart girl. Let's get her in.
Hi Jennifer, can you send Shona up please? Thank you.
She looks really strong, I gotta say. Ticking all the right boxes for me.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear about her time at Campbell Mavers.
I'm sorry, can we help you?
Oh, sorry, am I in the wrong room? I'm Shauna McGregor.
Oh my gosh, Shauna. I'm sorry, please, come in, have a seat.
Thanks.
Hi Shona, would you like a glass of water?
No, I'm fine.
Coffee? Tea?
I'm fine, thanks.
So, move on to the third one, which is halo effect. This occurs when one good trait overshadows everything else. For example, if a candidate dresses very well or speaks confidently, the recruiter might assume they are good at everything, even without a solid proof. Gender, racial, and age bias. This occurs when someone is treated unfairly based on their gender, race, or age. For instance, a recruiter might favor younger candidates or assume someone is less capable because of their race or gender even when they have the right skill. Lastly is name bias. This happens when someone judges a candidate just by their name. For instance, A resume with a common or Western-sounding name might get more callbacks than one with a name that sounds unfamiliar, even if the qualifications are the same. So of course, bias will give many negative impact in hiring process. So the first one is increased risk of discrimination claims. If a company hires people unfairly, like choosing someone because of their gender, race, or age, it can get into a legal trouble. People might file a complaint or even sue the company for discriminations. This doesn't just cost money, it also makes the company look bad and can damage its reputation. Employees and others might lose trust in the company and feel it's not a fair place to work. Bias can cause loss of talent. When the companies let bias affect their hiring, they might reject people who are actually very skilled and could do the job really well. For example, if a hiring manager makes assumptions just because of someone's name, where they come from, or how they speak, they might ignore a great candidate. This means the company loses the chance to hire someone who could have been a strong performer and help them to become succeed. In the long run, this can weaken the company because they are not bringing the best people to work in their company. Of course, bias can lead to lack of diversity. For example, when hiring is biased, the team often ends up with people who all think, act, or look the same. This means fewer new ideas and less creativity in terms of doing a project in their company. Teams with people from different backgrounds usually come up with better solutions because they see things in many different ways and many opinions. Without that mix, the company might fall behind, struggle to grow, or have a hard time in understanding different types of customers in the market segment. Absolutely, bias can reduce employee morale. If an employee feel that hiring decisions are not fair or are based on biased decisions, it can make them unhappy and distrust the company. This can lower their motivation to do good, to perform work, and might cause them to leave the company. When people don't think the workplace is fair, it creates a bad environment, making it harder for everyone to work together and be productive. But don't worry, there are many strategies to eliminate bias. First, you can implement blind recruitment. So basically, blind recruitment means hiding personal details like name, photo, or gender from a resume, so the person reviewing it only sees the important stuff, such as the candidate's skills and also experience. This can help to make sure the decision is based on what the person can do, the ability, and not who they are, and making the hiring process more fair and equal. So the other way to eliminate bias is by standardizing the interviews. So it means asking every candidate the same questions in the same way. This makes it easier to compare answers fairly and stop personal opinions or feelings from affecting the decisions making. Using a clear scoring system also can help to pick the best person or candidate based on facts and not based on personal bias. Diversify the hiring panel also the other ways to overcome bias. So this means having interviewers from different backgrounds, experience, or departments. So a mix of people helps make fairer decisions because it reduces the chance that one personal opinions or bias will influence the outcome. Different views can help the team choose the best candidate more fairly. Last but not least, in order to mitigate bias, an interviewer can develop clear, objective job criteria. This means clearly writing down what skills, experience, and qualifications are needed for the job positions before the hiring starts. So when everyone is judged by the same standards, it is easier to choose the right persons and harder for personal opinions or bias to affect the decision making. For example, before you start looking for someone to hire in your company, you should clearly decide what you are looking for, like the skills, experience, and qualification needed for the job positions. These are called job criteria. So let me give you an example. If you're hiring a graphic designer, the job criteria might be the person or candidate can use tools like Photoshop or Canva. He has 2+ years of experience. He can show a portfolio of the past work. So to conclude, bias in hiring can limit a company's abilities to attract the top talent and build diverse and innovative teams. It can lead to missed opportunities, harm employee morale, and also damage the company's reputations. By adopting fair, objective recruitment practices, organizations can make better hiring decisions and improve workplace culture and also drive long-term success.